Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom, I am the crypto investor and it's time for our weekly market roundup where I take the 20 or so hours of crypto information that I've absorbed and give it to you in this calorie rich nugget of 20 minutes of crypto chat. If you like the content, please do hit the like button, please comment, I love reading your comments, and please do share it with your mates. Let's try and grow this channel. Alright, let's look at the heat map. We can see that this week has been dominated by the big boys. Bitcoin is up 13%, Ethereum up 6.9%. They are whiskers away from their all-time highs, but it's not green all across the board. You can see that there has been quite a pullback in the layer 1 space. Luna taking the biggest hit at 15.6%. I am still very bullish on Luna, but it has had a huge run up. And so, you know, what I think we're going to see here, as always, is that the big mega cap take on that capital. And then for me, that's kinetic energy. It's like pulling back the elastic band, and then that money flows into, into the other alts and goes down the champagne pyramid that we've talked of. There are a few exceptions. Polkadot is up 28%. That's because the Parachain auctions are beginning on the 11th of November. Polygon Matic is also up 15%. I'll show you why I believe that is in a minute. And yeah, let's take a look at the bubbles and see what's going on there. Wow. I mean, overall, it's mostly, you've got a lot of red. There's DOT, as we said, Telcoin up 26%, worth checking out what's going on there. But nothing else really of note. STX up 36%. Let's have a look at the burn, and you can see that we've now burnt over 500,000 ETH. This is $2 billion worth of Ethereum that has now been burnt, and it's still NFTs doing the heavy lifting, OpenSea burning the majority of this. Quite incredible to see the amount that is being burnt. Layer 2's up 17% this week, which is great to see. This is up and to the right, and it's what we wanted to see, and this is what's going to help to bring down gas prices on Ethereum. And it's all coming from Arbitrum and DYDX. Optimism can't catch a bid right now. I did a little bit of potential alpha for you that there is anticipation that they will be doing a airdrop on Optimism. So if you haven't already, it's worth bridging to Optimism, doing a test transaction there, and then you will qualify for a retroactive airdrop. Optimism has to do something like launch a token if it's going to stop the rot, because Arbitrum is stealing the show right now and Optimism is falling to the wayside. So they undoubtedly are planning a token launch. So yeah, great to see. Arbitrum is just doing a tremendous job. If you haven't used it already, it's very refreshing. Next to no gas fees. Really, really cool to use. All right, what have we got? So token terminal, it continues to be the same story. Ethereum is generating all the revenue, Axie, OpenSea, DYDX, and much the same. The standard DeFi just really is not doing a great deal at the moment. Okay, so I mentioned Polygon rallying, and I couldn't believe this. This is actually from a few weeks ago, that Polygon Matic has more daily active users than Ethereum. So just quite incredible to see. I'm really, really surprised by this statistic. But this is because, you know, they've got so much going on their gaming chain, on the NFT chain, on their chain using those avenues. And so Polygon, I didn't realize, is just going from strength to strength. So yeah, that's why we're starting to see that reflected in the token price. And I think it still has plenty way to go. All right, so I mentioned Polkadot, of course. This is the Parachain auctions that are happening on November the 11th. Not really much more to say on that. Okay, first I wanted to just share with this as well. If you don't use matcha.xyz, this is an aggregator of like Uniswap, SushiSwap, so you can get the best price when you are trading your crypto tokens. What I wanted to share with you is the fact that they've now implemented this gasless trading. If you do a transaction of more than $5,000, you don't pay any gas. So if you want to make a change, and you're obviously doing a decent sized position, and you don't have any Ethereum in your wallet or gas is prohibitively expensive, you can just head over to Matcha and do it on there and you won't pay any gas. So that's pretty nice new offering from Matcha. Okay, this is quite cool. So this is a number of miners which are holding Ethereum, and you can see that basically we are just heading up and to the right. And I guess, there was concerns that, miners might fork when we had EIP 1.5, well, once we get the merge, and that they would be less inclined to be holding Ethereum. Well, it seems that the exact opposite is happening. Miners are hoarding their Ethereum because they're going to become validators and secure the network that way. So this just shows that even as well as EIP 1.559, we're also losing the selling pressure from the miners, because they're having a portion of their income burnt, and they're basically looking to secure a revenue stream through validating the network. So this is another reason why we're seeing a decent pump in the price. Okay, what have we got? This is quite cool. This is just seeing cryptocurrency across the world, just to give you an idea of the fact that we have over 300 million crypto users worldwide, 28 million in North America. The biggest aggregation of holders is in Asia, and 100 of these 160 million are in India. I had no idea that India had the largest population of crypto holders. Obviously it has this world's second largest population, so it was always going to be fairly high, but I didn't realize it was this high. The UK coming in here at 3.3 million. And it's not surprising that it's a male-dominated space, 79% male, 58% under 34, 82% have degrees. Generally that means because you've obviously got more disposable income as well to speculate on this asset class, and 36% have that annual income of over 100 grand. So yeah, quite interesting to see and get those statistics there. Going back to the chart that we shared last week, the only thing that matters is that adoption curve. It's seeing more and more people adopting cryptocurrency. Everything else is just noise, but as long as we continue to get that linear adoption of cryptocurrencies, then the asset prices will increase. All right, Stripe are hiring crypto team. It's pretty cool to see. So it's just another payment processor moving into the crypto space. I tweeted to them, I wonder if that would mean they wouldn't charge me 2.8% when I took a transaction. We will see. You can take payments through Coinbase, and they do not charge you anything to take a crypto payment through Coinbase. So I don't know how Stripe's going to position this, but they must see that crypto is a big threat to their revenue streams. Putin says crypto has value. This was just in regards to conversations about oil being denominated in US dollars and him having umbrage with that, and that he said that I believe that crypto has value, but I don't believe that it should be used for oil trades. That would be a bit confusing and volatile, but perhaps a neutral stablecoin, a global stablecoin that we believe we all agree on, perhaps an aggregation of multiple currencies in one. Russia have been fairly negative on cryptocurrencies, and it's quite nice to hear Putin, saying that they have value. It just is another, attack vector, which is somewhat more eliminated now. All right. So the big news, of course, that's fueling this whole move is that we are anticipating the Bitcoin ETF. This is just some confirmation that on the Bloomberg terminal that the ticker BITO is now up. And we can see that, that this is it's been uploaded. Basically, it's confirmation almost that it is happening. So yeah, you can see that here. This is the ProShares one, which is anticipated to happen either Monday or Tuesday. Go live then. And this is also confirmation that the ETF from Valkyrie is also receiving approval. So we expect that one to be going through. We're probably going to have 4 Bitcoin ETFs approved over the next few weeks or so. And it's important to understand, of course, that there's a big difference between these, which are futures ETFs, which effectively are paper ETFs of Bitcoin. It's not the underlying asset. These aren't spot ETFs. So when someone buys the futures ETF, there doesn't have to be Bitcoin purchased to represent that purchase. So I think for me, what makes this particularly bullish is that this opens the door to a spot Bitcoin ETF and other crypto assets spot ETFs as well. So, this is just the first thing that had to happen for, mass adoption within the broader financial world. And that's why this is so bullish. But I don't expect to see, huge demand for Bitcoin because of the futures purchases. All right. this is a excellent bullish chart from Jordan Lindsay of Conquer Trading and Investing. And this is just looking at, you can see the 2012 cycle, the 2016 cycle, and you can see there up and to the right here, and here we are. And it's, this is why everyone is so excited about October and Q4, because this is the point in the cycle post halving when we have seen this monumental rise. And we've got the catalyst of the ETF. We've got everyone, in belief that this is what is going to happen. It almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so, this makes it all rather exciting. And of course, if we take an average of where this would take us, this would be a $280,000 Bitcoin, which would be pretty sweet. All right, what do we have next? Coinbase is launching an NFT marketplace. I believe that over 1 million people have already subscribed for this. This is, this just opens up the NFT space to another 3 million or so people that weren't necessarily, they don't have MetaMask, they don't connect to OpenSea. OpenSea, by the way, dominates this space so dramatically. 97% of all NFT volume is going through OpenSea. And so Coinbase are going to try their best to try and penetrate that market. FTX are doing so, but they're not getting much traction. Coinbase is going to have a pop at it because it can see just how big a revenue generator this could be for them. But this is bullish overall for the NFT space, which is, it's bubbly. Many of the NFTs are going to zero, but the space overall will go from strength to strength and will, be pervasive in popular culture. I have no doubt. Samsung have invested into Axie Infinity, so it's just another big blue chip company. They've put $150 million into Axie, and this, for me, this is why I feel that crypto has hit escape velocity. We have so much venture capitalist money from going into private rounds of investing, and then we also have many corporations now investing within existing projects as well. That combined with the fact that we just saw, over 300 million people worldwide own crypto, so you can't really look to be rug pulling that many people. It would be, we've already had confirmation from the US government that they're not intending to ban cryptocurrencies. We now have the ETF. I think we can start to feel a bit more confident and look over our shoulder a little less. It's only authoritarian governments like the Chinese who are looking to ban this. All right. So big news this week really is DeFi 2.0, and I don't really know what DeFi 2.0 is, and I'm still kind of working it out. But what it seems to be, DeFi 1 is, your Aves and your Sushis and synthetics and such. And DeFi 2.0 seems to be much more DAO driven, and it's much more about giving a proportion of the income back to the community. And there's a lot of, I don't quite understand, but protocol black magic and clever functionality going on. And it's basically where we've seen, so we know that DeFi 1.0 has just been flat, and versus Ethereum, pretty appalling when we look at the charts. Whereas this is like, this whole space is up 15x in the past month or two. And so, this is something that you need to be keeping your eye on. I don't know if it's time to be aping into this stuff. I personally bought some Olympus myself, which is the ticker OHM, O-H-M. And that, has been going really well. It had a very dramatic crash yesterday. At one point, it was 50% down. It's since recovered a lot of that, and is looking to continue its upward movement. If you stake this on their website, they give you a 7,000% annual yield, which is pretty decent. So it's up 24% today. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet, but this looks, Olympus is it seems to be one of the more reputable projects in this space. Another one I've been looking at is Time, ticker Time, Wonderland. This one is on Avalanche, and this one, the yield is a little bit more generous. I think they offer a 42,000% annual yield on this one, so just bonkers. I'm still getting my head around that as well. Another one, of course, is Spell, which is the highest market cap of all of these. And Spell again, after everything, all of these pulled back quite significantly yesterday, but they're recovering fairly aggressively today. And I wouldn't be surprised to see these previous highs taken out within the week. This is a space that a lot of people seem to be watching and moving into. And I will do more content on this. Bankless are putting out a podcast this week on this whole space as well. It's this place is so fast moving and tough to keep up with, but DeFi 2.0 is the theme of the week. Finally, Gelato, ticker GEL. They've just raised 11 million from backers. As I said, there's plenty of venture capital money in this space. And this allows people to, I think, aggregate your trades together, so you can automate positions. So you can basically, say, I want to sell 20% of my portfolio, and it automatically will sell a portion of each of your holdings to achieve that, I believe. But yeah, this is a project that seems well regarded, and something that you might want to also be keeping your eye on as well. It's a pretty small cap. All right. Goodness me. Let's jump into charts. I want to start first of all with the total crypto market cap. We are at $2.5 trillion. This is looking at this over the last 2-3 years on the logarithmic chart. And, if in doubt, zoom out. I think, there's a good chance we're up here. Oh, wow. This would take us to $6 trillion or so if we're up here by the end of the year. That would be very nice to see indeed, even $4 trillion. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you because we are just right now taking out the previous high that has been achieved. In fact, we have just taken it out. There we go. So this right now is the highest that the crypto market cap, so all of the tokens combined, has ever been. So we are hitting all-time new highs right now, which is pretty awesome to see. And so, this is breakout. The best time, many people are scared of buying at market tops, but statistically speaking, market tops are followed by another market top. When you are in breakout, when you are at all-time highs, there is no resistance to be found on the charts. And of course, next week, it's likely that Bitcoin will be front of the headlines again on the regular tabloids, saying that, of course, Bitcoin has now hit a new all-time high. And that will attract more of the retail herd. Those friends will start phoning you up who started phoning you up last April and then got bored and didn't want to buy when we pulled back. So, it will be a vacuum that just starts sucking in new users. Let's just looking at Bitcoin here on the daily chart. So I was following it in this channel, and then yesterday we got the breakout here at 58,000, and we quickly have moved up to 62,000. Of course, this is all on the anticipation that we get this ETF, which almost looks certain now. And there are some people saying that it may be a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't see that, to be honest. I really genuinely see this as a catalyst to push us higher. And we're now just a hop, skip and a jump away from that all-time high. The resistance here should be fairly nominal. I imagine we're going to push past this, perhaps today or so. So yeah. And here's Ethereum at 39,020. So it's now just hit not an all-time high, but it's now pushed higher than we were yesterday. And you can see that actually it's just broken my resistance that I had here, which is just joining these previous peaks. And again, Ethereum is just a hop, skip and a jump away from a new all-time high itself. In fact, what are we like? We're still 10% off, but I can't see that being much of a struggle for Ethereum here. So yeah, I expect this to be a continuation. It's not a time to be selling and banking profits, in my opinion. I think we see this move really extend. It's going to be, there will be pullbacks along the way. I expect that we will get something it's going to be this kind of movement. But the whole point is that it's up and to the right in the long term. So yeah, this is a great time to be in crypto, and I'm very excited to see these moves that are going to be coming up. Looking at that's strange. My resistance has moved. There we go. This is Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and you can see that. Well, let's just take this to the weekly to get a clearer picture. You can see that Ethereum, well, we've now got a doji, which is an indecisive candle. It doesn't really know which way to go. Initially, Ethereum was selling off versus Bitcoin, and then it found support. If you were following me on Twitter, Desert Island Tom, I've now changed my handle too, then you would have seen that we touched this resistance line. I tweeted about it. It's a nice time to switch a little bit of Bitcoin into Ethereum. And now Ethereum is bouncing up and really starting to make its move. And I think it's very clear that for me, of course, Bitcoin's going to be the first mover here because people are excited about new capital flowing in through the ETF, even though it's futures. But the conversation very quickly, once this is approved, is going to move towards where's our Ethereum ETF, and it's only a matter of time. The whole point is that, this is that first small hole. It's that first acceptance that means that the dam will break. There will be a proliferation of crypto-related ETFs that will be accepted now, because this is like, it's like a ruling court case that allows for other court cases to vote in such favor. So I really expect this to work in Ethereum's advantage. And again, it's just that trickle-down approach. First Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then alts, then speculative, and small caps, and then we crash. So yeah, it's for me still quite an opportune time to be buying into Ethereum. I think we still, we're going to go back and forth for a time here, and then eventually we break out past the 50%. What's been interesting this week has been the rise in Bitcoin dominance. It continues to rise as well. We are up on the week. Bitcoin dominance has moved, well, this is now, last week we saw a 7% move in Bitcoin dominance. Then we've had follow through on that, further 4% or so. We are now at 46%. I don't think this gets to 50. I think, I actually would say that we're probably at the extent of it now. I think this is where we'll start to see that resistance. And then this will come back and turn around again as the money starts to look to the more speculative assets. So yeah, I don't think that this dominance gets further up. So again, that tells me that now's not a bad time to be using a bit of Bitcoin to buy into those alts. You might push it a bit further, but I can't see it moving too much more than that. Looking at Ethereum's dominance, we sit at 18.3%. It's picked up a bit, still not above the key 20% dominance. As and when we do get above there, we will move quite quickly. But really, you could just say that we have made a bit of a flag here, and we are just consolidating. And then once we break the flag, we will move like this and do it again. Okay, what do we have finally? Solana dominance just sitting under 2%. Solana's at $160. Again, quite a nice consolidation. Potential breakout there for Solana. Are we on the log chart? I was on the log chart the whole time. I'm very sorry, guys. But it didn't seem to affect the charting too much there. Goodness me, come on. All right. So Solana is making quite a nice pennant position here. It's just broken out, retested. This could actually be the beginning of a bit of a move for Solana. I wouldn't be surprised to see this push on up. This looks like a possible breakout here for Solana. Looking at DeFi. So first we'll look at DeFi US dollar. DeFi 1.0 that is. And we're just chugging up. It's not taking over the world, but it's not dreadful. It's pretty dreadful when you look at it versus Ethereum. You can see that we just continue to bleed out lower and lower versus Ethereum. Looking at the Metaverse Index, MVI, versus Ethereum, it's holding up. If you consider that Ethereum has had, a 7% week, well, it's probably more like 9% now with the move that we're seeing right now. Then, MVI continuing to hold up pretty well. All right. I think that's it for now, guys. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for staying to the end, you loyal crypto cats. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet imparting what I have learned in this space. I hope you found it useful. Please do like, subscribe, share it with your mates, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.